Back in September, the Bears dominated their first matchup against the Lions. Can Detroit get revenge? Find out next on EA Sports.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Chicago Bears. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time, and he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. Hey, look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about let's take that forward now. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Fields now to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. From the 30 on 2nd down, Goff. And incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
A 44-yard punt they're going to want. Losing yardage on the return, though. And out will come the offense as they take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep. On first down, Herbert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Romeo Okwara charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now the call.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit back in possession of the football. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the draw. But this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10. On the carry, it's Olawale. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Bilal Nichols able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chicago offense set to get started. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. Now, this defense for the Lions, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out on. To the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Out of the gun, Goff. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, just hold on. Check. Tigers.
From the gun, here's Goff. There's Beckham, great grab. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a 1st down as well.
And 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now they'll give it to the fullback, Olawale. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. It's Olawale again. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Back to throw. Goff. He finds his target. Beckham. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. We'll check on his status when we get back. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Bilal Nichols able to record his 5th sack of the season. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer 3rd of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
3rd and long. It's gone. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd down and 4, Fields. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Man open is Robinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Yeah, this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he will have the Bears 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On the option right is Fields. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They come. With one back and 3 tight ends. Back to throw. Fields toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line. First down. Surprised that wasn't a run.
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. So 3 points on the board. As easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Detroit's offense ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Another shot now for Olawale. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Goff, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Watch his flag. Watch his flag.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
They run with Olawale. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
And that's why the fullback position was created. You just want a big, strong, powerful guy you can hand the ball to and pick up good yardage.
Here's Jack Fox now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they can't bring him down. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Hey, Charles, do you give me water? Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is Jakeem Grant. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
3rd and 2, Fields. This is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields swings this out here for Cohen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
First down, a run with Cohen. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Out of the gun, Fields. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the carry, here's Olawale. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Goff. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A quick throw out wide to Mooney. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Fields. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's good one. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
A gain of 6 there on first.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
On second down at 4, Fields. Robinson's got it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Complete to Allen Robinson. A 5-yard gain on the play. First down, Chicago.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Back to Montgomery on second down.
And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Off play action, Fields.
This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the first and goal.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery, his 11th touchdown of the year as the Bears push further out in front.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23.
Lions, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And Detroit back in possession of the football.
And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage, but the big man setting the tone physically.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Goff. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This time it's 3rd and 3. Goff.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They run. It's Williams.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
That was fourth and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't fourth and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations, 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Goff throwing again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll run it. It's Olawale. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And that's why that position was created. Big, powerful, strong guy who can carry the ball and plow forward. That's exactly why you have him on the field.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 14. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. A pass there over the middle to start things out. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Goff's throw complete there to Beckham. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw taken in by Hockenson here. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Bears.
Throwing again is Goff. Looking sideline, incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Back to throw, Goff. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Ross St. Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. So Goff will lead his guys up to the line to go for the 2-point conversion. Goff looking to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now it's Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Uses the stiff arm. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Jared Goff and the rest of the Lions offense set to go to work once more. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
Below Nichols there on the stop. From the 45 on 2nd down, Goff. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
They have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air again. Goff. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They go ahead and snap it. Gone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down, and the Bears will get the football back. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
55 rushing yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4.
2nd and 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
They'll keep it on the ground. Herbert. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now a run with Montgomery. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Until they absolutely stop you.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Detroit's offense ready to take over.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because There are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. 2nd and 10, Goff again. Throw left side complete. That's Reynolds. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Bears, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.